choices that we make are black and white, right or wrong, or if we move more toward a gray area, more of a middle of the road. Alright, so here we are in the heart of Manhattan, some would call it Aggieville, where a lot of choices every day are made of right and wrong, black and white. If you go and hang out at the bookstore, if you go down to Cold Stone and get an ice cream just to hang out and relax after a long day, perhaps at the local coffee shop to get a cup of Joe, or to go further down the block to get a cup of Irish coffee, to really drown your sorrows in a beer or stronger alcohol. What is it about Aggieville that makes people see the world of black and white? Or is it something that they see move more into gray? But not just in Aggieville, but all around the world are life choices. We just asked some people here and over in City Park, just a couple blocks away, what they saw as right and wrong, black and white. And here's what they had to say.
Is drinking alcohol right or wrong?
Wrong. Mostly wrong.
Why?
Because it takes
So it's more black and white. With them at their age, I think it's more black and
I
white.
think it's good.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, absolutely black and white.
Black and white?
Yep. Not
Everything's
many
right and wrong?
gray areas, Not many gray areas for me.
But what about medical studies that red wine helps with heart disease? There's a gray area.
Is drinking alcohol wrong, or is the excess of alcohol wrong?
The excess of alcohol is wrong. Some people drink
See,
too
that's
much
the
and then
gray.
kill
I don't-
themselves.
Do you think that's a gray?
I think that's absolutely
Okay,
great.
excellent, good.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Being a teenager.
Do you think there's black and white and gray, or do you think it's kind of like a way to write? Is there a writing offense?
Wrong sometimes because you can if you drink too much and then you drive. Because,
I assume you're under 21, right?
yeah.
Is it right for you to go to a party and drink if there's supervision? Do you think some people your age think it's okay?
Probably.
What do you think? Like, are you talking about like smoking cigarettes? Is that wrong? No.
Do you think it's wrong?
No. Like, I don't know, I'm not very... I think, yeah, you're right, that it has been pushed over to the gray area sometimes. That's my answer. But I don't know, I don't want to go on camera with you.
Well, your choice is either black or it's white. There's no in between. You make a choice and it doesn't become unknown. It's either there or it's not. That's
Yeah.
my answer.
Okay. Cut.
I do think that there is such a thing as absolute truth. I think that because we live in a world where there's sin and there's curse, that there are situations that you get in that are very difficult, and it's, you know, it's the whole example of if you're in Nazi Germany in 1942 and a Gestapo guard comes to your front door and says, "Do you have any daughters?" You're gonna lie, and is the lie wrong? Yeah, the lie's wrong, but the greater wrong would be turning over the daughters to the Gestapo. So I do believe in right and wrong. I believe in absolute truth, but I think because of the world we live in, there's a lot of very complex situations that have to be worked through as best as we can do it.
Alright, so there we have different ideas, different thoughts, different opinions of black and white, right and wrong. The real question is, what do you see as right and wrong? What do you see as black and white? And how does that apply to what God sees as black and white? What God says is right and wrong. Of course, we have the Ten Commandments, which dictates what is right and what is wrong. What we need to do good and follow God. But what about going into the gray? We want to say that the world isn't always black and white. We hear that time and time again. So how can it really fall into the gray and we can still follow God? What about Moses, for example? He's born into a world, a young, helpless infant, reliant totally on his parents. And in this world, they've now called all the infant boys to be murdered. Now as parents, not a parent myself, but if someone said to me to take my young boy or a young daughter and give it to the master of the land, the Lord ruler of the land, to be killed, to be slaughtered, I would do anything in my power not to do this. And that is what Moses' parents did. Was it right? By the law of the land? No, it wasn't right. They disobeyed the laws in the land by not giving up Moses. But God used that because Moses had a higher purpose, a higher calling that that God wanted him to fulfill. This very much enters into the gray. What do you do when posed with such a dilemma, such a debate? And then, we could go into like, lying to our parents, lying about this or that. It's right or it's wrong. Most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, you're going to find yourself in a black and white situation. Rarely you're going to be in those situations like Moses' parents saying, we have to hold on to our child and keep him close because this is our child. This is our flesh and blood that we brought into this world. No one has the right to kill a young, innocent child, do they? So ask yourselves, in a black and white world, you can live white. You can be on fire for God. You can do what you want. You can do good. Follow the golden rule. Treat others as you yourself want to be treated. Love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul. Or you can live in a world of black. Doing what you want. Doing how you feel. When you want. How you want. Whenever. It's all about you in the world of black. It's all about living in the moment in the world of black. It's great. But when we don't follow God, we banish ourselves to an eternity of hell, an eternity of fire. So you can be on fire for God, or you can be in fire because you weren't on fire for God. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought. In science, we learn that white is the presence of all color, and black is the absence of all color. Now, isn't that interesting how white, a right, godly kind of feel, is actually the presence of all color? And when you live in this white world, when you do what is right for God, you get to experience all the joys, all the pleasures, all the excitement that God has personally set aside for you. Now, if you live in black, you live a life void of all color. Yes, you enter into all sorts of things that you think will fulfill you, but suddenly you feel very empty and void and black and dark, cold and alone, because you tried to fill your life with all these worldly things that you thought were right, but perhaps in your heart knew were wrong and just were doing them for selfish reasons. So you have your choice. You live in the white, do what is right, or you live in the black and do what is wrong, but do what you want. Either way, fire is inevitable.